welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today we got a special guest. Now, what's extra special about this guest is they're actually going to be a keynote speaker at an upcoming conference that you've been hearing about on our show that is coming up in Miami, the Miami Crypto Experience. We have Joe with Mandala. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Richard. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, I want to tease up a couple of things that you're going to be able to speak on at the conference. We're still also going to learn a little bit about you right now and speak on a couple of different things. But, coming in, what can some people expect to learn by coming and listening to your keynote? Sure.
So basically, my keynote speech in Miami is going to be about the background of this project. Being that this project's been around since its initial ICO stage, late 2017, early 2018. Albeit in a different iteration. We are a new company from that original ICO with a new board, a new management structure, a new team that we've really brought in from our community, which is really cool, and a new partnership, obviously, with Binance Cloud, developing on their platform, so to speak, as almost like a white label product with our own privately held interests and exotic token types and order types and things like that. So we're going to be speaking about the background of the project and about some of the really cool upcoming features we have that we will be either listed by that point or implemented at that point, including futures, margin trading, staking. We plan to do an educational component, have a Mandala University, so to speak, where investors and participants can learn about algo trading, can learn about TA, can learn really in depth about a lot of the cryptos and blockchain projects that are listed on our exchange. So there's a lot going on in 2021 that I'm really excited about.
For sure. And I know I'm going to be, I'm pretty excited to be able to be there in attendance and to hear it as well. As y'all know, we're going to be, Cryptocurrent will be a media partner there that will be covering a lot of this. So we'll keep you posted on all the great information that will be shared with us while we're there. But thank you for teasing that up. Again, for everyone listening, make sure that you go and check out your tickets. See us there in Miami. If you go and you put Cryptocurrent, you can get a nice little discount when you sign up. But outside of that, now we're going to learn more about Joe. Give me some background about yourself.
Sure. So by trade, I'm a business and tax attorney that also happened to jump into the regulatory and compliance side of things for multiple emerging markets, including blockchain and cryptocurrency companies. Coming from that legal background, it really gave me a strong understanding and a unique perspective really to run a crypto company, including an exchange, obviously, because I was able to kind of harness the knowledge of understanding regulation around the world and understanding what's necessary for compliance in different jurisdictions and bring that to the table as the now CEO, former general counsel of the first iteration of this company. So how did I get into blockchain? Like everybody else, honestly, in crypto trading. But 2014, 2015, I really found it fun. I loved the volatility. I loved the kind of, I loved the margin trading, the futures trading, everything that was implemented. Kind of guilty as charged. I'd wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, like everybody else, check out and see what Korea and China were doing and, see if I had to close the trade out or go back to sleep. Obviously, that's unsustainable. I did it for a while. I was burnt out, and I said, "Listen, my passion's better served being a lawyer for this industry because I can really help shape some of the regulation and help shape some of the laws surrounding, crypto and blockchain in general." So I started my own firm, 2015, 2016. And really jumped in head first. Signed on a lot of companies from around the world at different domiciles that wanted to learn about and have me do work in regards to American and U.S. Jurisdictional laws and obviously regulatory issues, and branched that out into sitting as an advisor for multiple companies and now the CEO for Mandala Exchange, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like you're definitely an underachiever. Definitely had your work out. I mean, your work cut out for you, man. It's pretty amazing that the first thing that you did was follow your passion of trading and finding out about this new thing and being hungry for that knowledge. And then, going down the rabbit hole, experience a little bit of burnout, and then basically just pivoting into, okay, what's my lane? How do I get involved in this? And then how do I bring my flair to this unique opportunity. And, that's something that we talk a lot about on our show is, wanting to spark curiosity in people. And, every topic that we bring to the show might not speak directly to each person, but if there's something that can be taken away from each speaker that resonates and like sparks something, you're like, wow, I want to go learn more about that. Like, how can I get more involved? I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people that look at Joe. Joe came in, literally a lawyer coming in and being an advisor for regulatory ways that you can get involved in crypto, and then has basically evolved into the CEO of a major exchange. Like, that's pretty awesome. Like, what?
Yeah. And it's a major change too, obviously, as this project grew, especially the second iteration of it, where we really rebooted it from the ground up, started a new company, brought in new management, industry professionals that have been in it forever. My CTO, Zach's been working as a developer and as, building exchanges and companies since 2011, which is really the birth of crypto and blockchain companies. My COO, Rich, has been, where he worked for major exchanges as a project manager before stepping into this role. Brad, who is our other director of operations, has done this in the financial world for a long time. So he's kind of bringing his financial background over. And then my dad, who's actually really cool, is CFO and also the other half of the legal counsel for the original Mandala and stepped into that role. Has 40 years of Fortune 500 accounting and business M&A and just kind of tax structuring and things like that. So his expertise is totally invaluable. And to be able to shape your board with friends and family literally is one of the most beautiful and satisfying things you could possibly do in this industry, because we all work well together. We were all friends first. We all started as trading buddies and we got to know each other really well. And we're all, we can all go out and have a scotch or a whiskey together at the bar and shoot the shit just as well as sit down and work a 10-hour day. So it's one of those things that's really just rewarding for us.
For sure. And I want to spend some time around the word team. We haven't really talked or expanded on this too much on this show. And I want to, just because you brought it up. And I even think about my own team at Cryptocurrent, how great it is to bring in people, the right people. And when you're working with them, it stops really feeling like work, and it feels like a common goal that you're really moving towards together. And even though when things are tough or things are harder, you look back and you're like, wow, look how far we've come. It's that camaraderie. So can you kind of expand on the importance of building a good team around you so that it can kind of push the vision that you have forward?
Oh, absolutely. And I can expand on that even further. Pretty much most of our hires have been from our community, which is a really cool thing. So the team that we've built, we were friends first or family first, and we really felt out each other's areas of strengths and weaknesses to bring this cohesive unit together that really was able to, build this exchange. Because the first iteration didn't go as planned. If I'm going to be brutally honest, and there were a lot of missteps, and it was kind of left for dead. And myself, Rich, my COO, and Zach, my CTO, said, listen, this is not happening to us today. We're not allowing this to happen. We have thousands and thousands of ICO token holders that need to be made whole. So we went to our community and said, listen, how can we make this right? Our community, God bless them, stepped up. Not only financially, but in terms of manpower hours. and we've probably hired about 10 to 15 of them at this point for marketing, design, graphic content, business development. I mean, these guys are a lot of them are industry professionals in crypto, blockchain, or related industries. And they said, we're not letting this fail either. Not donated, obviously, put their time, effort, and money where their mouths were. And we got this partnership, which is beautiful, with Binance Cloud as a first privately held exchange. And we were able to build around that and bring excitement back to the team and to the community and really build out from that and deliver this successful product that we have today, where we're just rolling right along. So it's teams everything in this industry. And I don't mean the 2017, ICO teams where you had 10 pictures of Ryan Gosling sitting online as a meme, where it's every director of the, of the project. I mean, truly a team where you can call anybody up any time of day or night and say, listen, we need to get this done. They'll jump out of bed and get it done. And we've done it. It's one of those things. We work literally day and night on this because our developers are in Singapore. Our market makers are all over the world. It's one of those things where we really don't ever sleep as a team because somebody's always got eyes on the project working. So,
yeah, I mean, that's powerful, man. And just like you said, with the resilience of when things got tough, people stepped up.
Right.
From yourself and internally, your internal team, but then speaking with the community and having them step up as well. I love the camaraderie around crypto, especially if you can get some really good people around you. And I've just found that there's a lot of unique backgrounds of people from all kinds of walks of life that see the vision of the opportunity that is cryptocurrency right now. Right. And obviously Mandala, as a company can speak to that, but within your ecosystem, because you are an exchange, you have other companies that come to try to be on your exchange. I'm sure that you get access to a lot of different kinds of projects. What do you see within the framework of projects, just from a team standpoint? You don't have to necessarily list out any specific projects, but like, what makeup do you see where you're like, I don't care what you're working on, I just see your work ethic and I know that you're going to find a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it really does vary because we all have our strengths and we all have our different avenues and lanes that we evaluate when we're looking at projects or teams that come to us for listing, for partnerships, for, cross-chain interoperability rather, or, partnering with another exchange to bring user bases together. It does depend on how, first of all, we mesh with the other team and see how they're working together, like you said, but it also depends on, you can tell if somebody's hungry for something or if it's just a side project and a side gig. And we love to see teams that are hungry to make their project succeed and want to be industry leaders and want to build something that will, enhance or accelerate the blockchain/crypto, world at the ecosystem. So that's something that we really do look for as a team. And it kind of goes with our mission statement, which is really which we sat down and said, how can we create an exchange that levels the cryptocurrency playing field? By that, I mean, the retail and institutional investor are on the same playing field. We can bring that education and that ease of interaction and the ease of use to all of them so that, you have your institutional or algo traders aren't getting a huge advantage over the everyday retail trader that might want to trade 1,000 MDX instead of, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. And there won't be an advantage depending on how much you're trading or, you're trading speed or knowledge or understanding. So that really fits with our mission statements when we bring other projects in to evaluate. And we've had, really successful and responses so far. Obviously, not just with our own project, but for, projects coming to partner or work with us or list on our exchange. It's been really exciting to see that, them understanding who we are, what we're about, and either knowing us through other ventures that we've worked on. I myself, having worked with, between 40 and 50 different blockchain projects around the world at any time, whether it's drafting opinion letters or privacy policies and legal documentation, contracts, setting up the businesses, you name it. Right. And that's been the same thing with our CTO, COO, and my dad as well as a CFO and tax advisor. So, it's been really great to see that all come together.
Absolutely, man. And, for the aspiring companies that are out there, because, our audience ranges from the newbie to the experienced to crypto projects in this space. For the aspiring project that is looking to potentially ICO one day or to get listed on exchange, as you know, is a tough process. It's like the ultimate honor to get listed and have a way that people can do it. What would you say are some first steps for that aspiring project that wants to be listed on an exchange like Mandala? Sure.
So what we look for when we're listing a project is you have to have a blockchain audit done for yourself to make sure that, your contracts are good. Obviously, you make sure that your foundations are stable. Make sure you have a good team of developers and a good CTO that can get that done efficiently. And you don't waste a lot of money on third-party developers or people that you don't trust with, really, honestly, with your project's life, because they're the lifeblood of your project to start. Second of all, make sure that you're in your domicile or in your jurisdiction, you get an opinion letter from a reputable attorney or reputable law firm that kind of backs the project goals and kind of lays out what the project is. We saw so many projects in 2017 and the beginning of 2018 that just kind of ICO'd out of nowhere, took millions of dollars from people and then just exit schemed, right? Yep. And that's sad. Still a concern. And obviously the SEC is one of the leading, unfortunately, regulatory kind of reactionary which is regulators they're having a snapback effect now, where they're almost overbearing, and they're going to have to find that balance, right? So you see the after effects of that, and it's really negative, and it shines a negative light on the industry. So make sure you avoid that by kind of setting yourself up right for success. Then build a nice community. Don't build a community of Telegram bots and Instagram influencers. Build a real community of people that can get behind your project, can speak about what it is to others, and really believe in the project goals. So don't be like the 50th project to build something that's trivial and won't advance your sector of the industry. Really go out there and find something you believe in, you're passionate in, and you're making a difference in the world. Those are the projects that really speak to exchanges and speak to kind of rising above the muck, so to speak, and to get listed and kind of separate yourself. So that's for sure. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, man. And thank you for breaking that down. I think that's going to be very valuable to a lot of people. I mean, to speak really quickly to building the community, because that's, again, something else that we really preach here, and why it's important to advocate for each other and to build that true camaraderie within your own ecosystem. What I've been starting to do for like these new projects that are ICO opportunities, I try to go into the Telegram groups and see what they're talking about, right? If someone's truly explaining what's going on, or if someone asks a question, does someone thoughtfully come in and explain it, or is it only the staff or the team that's constantly having to go and answer these questions, or is it truly community based where any and everyone, if someone comes in with a question, it's then being answered, because then like, oh, there's something here, like people are genuinely care and like can speak to this thing. Because obviously there's a lot of hype. Obviously there's a lot of bullish momentum in the space right now. People are just trying to grab everything they can as everything's hot. And like, yes, there are you can get away with that in some opportunities, but like what's really going to survive the test of time, the same way the ICOs that happened in 2017 that are now thriving right now, was because they built something to last and to sustain. And so I think you can really tell a lot of that through community.
Yeah. And a couple more points to that. If you are a C-level executive and your project's small, like you were saying, don't be afraid to go into your Telegram or Discord groups and, chat it up with your community. Get to know them on a personal level, because they're going to be your biggest allies later. I spent, probably 2.5. I'm still in there almost every day. I'm chatting up with our members, our equity members, as well as just our regular token holders. It doesn't make a difference to me. If somebody has a question that I can answer and they ping me, I'll still answer. No, I don't have 5-6 hours a day to do that anymore, obviously, but I'll still drop in for 30 minutes a day and answer questions I see. It keeps everybody engaged, and it keeps you from being just a title and a name. People know who I am. People know who our team is. And that's just a really important thing to do. So.
For sure. And I definitely appreciate you adding that to it. Kind of to shift gears a little bit, 2021 has already started off to be an incredible year. And I think that we are continuing to build that momentum forward. What are some things that are on the horizon that has your attention that you think other people should be paying attention to as well?
Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that for 2021 that I see they're coming out. And this is just the legal me speaking. And I kind of have to remove myself sometimes as the CEO of an exchange and kind of look at the industry from a legal perspective that people may not see. Now, what's really great about a lot of companies that are coming out, and FIO is a great example of this, cross-chain interoperability, right? Developing wallets, API plugins, things that can work cross-chain and get data from multiple sources and really help you seamlessly transact cross exchanges. That, I think, is the next level of operability and ease of use, which is so important in the cryptocurrency space, because a lot of people won't get in. Why? They have to jump through hoops to register. They don't know how to use the exchange. They don't know how to place an order properly. Things like that. They can't connect from a cold wallet onto an exchange. Then they can't transfer it back to their cold wallet. Things that may be barriers of entry for people, right? I love companies that are finding solutions to this and that are making it easy for the average user that may not have time to research and set up algos and set up trading bots and set up all this stuff to basically, 1 second, to set up, sorry, my dog won't stop barking.
Oh, you're fine.
No, please, quiet. Thank you. Sorry. Hey, Stop. She's a crypto dog too. She has a Doge collar, by the way. She's great. But she does bark. But what were we talking about? So interoperability. I wish that there would be more companies that would set up, this way to make ease of use for the average user better. So I love seeing that happen, and I love seeing that take hold in 2021 because everyone is becoming more technologically adept. Everyone's learning how to use, platforms at least, but they may not know how to transfer. They may not know how to interact properly. So that's beautiful. Now for the downside, I really, really, really worry about the legality of DeFi. And that's just as an attorney. It's something that's out there. Everyone loves the anonymity that comes along with it. Everyone loves the protocols that are being put out. But, what we've seen, even in the last few months, is a ton of these rug pulls, right? We've seen with Sushi, with Pancake, with Viking Swap, all these companies that just all of a sudden millions of dollars worth of crypto are gone. How do we combat that? So protocols are written in a way that, developers and people working on the project can't just rug pull and can't get away with it because it is a decentralized type platform. Even though there's an argument to be made that regulators will come after the people that develop the protocol, that develop the back end behind it, of course. But how do we ensure that, for the average user that sees that, it's going to shy them away from using, decentralized financial instruments and decentralized financial protocols and platforms? How do we combat that to make sure that it's a safe place for people to trade? Because right now, without the regulation, without anything in place, I do worry that people are still going to see it, and incorrectly so, as a place that's inviting people to either money launder or, shadily transact or things like that. And that's the prevailing view, even though it's a very, very small percentage of actual trades amongst governments and regulatory bodies. And as long as that issue pervades, there's not going to be a good solution to that.
Yeah. That is a really good point. And thanks for bringing that up because I hadn't really thought about it before. And someone brought up the point that, and I heard this in a previous interview, that bad guys are always going to find a way to use technology, right? Yep. Like no matter what's going on, they're going to keep finding a way to utilize the latest and greatest in tech. And first it was crypto, through Silk Road and all that kind of stuff. And now the new Wild West is DeFi. Correct. And so with anything that's new and has a lot of uncertainty in a lot of ways, there's always risk, and there's going to be risk involved that unfortunately some of these characters who claim to be forthright and trying to do the right things could be pretty shady and pull the rug, just like you said. Exactly. And so that's why everyone listening, and I will continue to do this for investments right now, especially in the early days of crypto, you need to be willing to lose what you put in. You need to protect yourself, and you need to do everything you can to keep your assets, but also you need to be understanding that there's a high risk with anything that you're doing in this crypto space. So I think a lot of people already have that risk tolerance. And so they're okay with understanding that that's going on. Not to say that they're still not going to be very upset if all of a sudden they lose all their money.
Yeah. I mean, I've been part of hacks before it happens. Unfortunately, early days of exchanges, it happened back then. But like you said, exchanges evolved to now lock down, wallets. Our funds, which is really cool. One of the brilliant things about us being on Binance Clouds, our funds are SAFU. So if we ever do get hacked, in a very unlikely event, they're backed up the same way Binance is backed up. We share liquidity, order books, depth, and security. So it's one of those things where, centralized exchanges developed and found a way to combat that and are now really, honestly, super safe. You don't hear about hacks like you did in 17 and 18 and before. Right. There's so few and far between that it's been one of those things that, I think DeFi is going to have to catch up in the next couple of years, like you were saying, as regulators catch on. Like Biden's administration just put in a task force just to study DeFi. I think, sooner rather than later, that's going to balance out as to what's going to happen with the industry as a whole. And I really want it to survive and thrive because it's a beautiful application of blockchain and a beautiful extension of blockchain. So
for sure, it's an equalizer, man. It's banking the unbanked. It's providing liquidity to people who wouldn't regularly have it. It provides way more good, but unfortunately, when there's bad, people can make that bad horrible. And therefore, that bad can outshine all of the good that it's doing. So, thanks for putting that on our radar, making people think about that. Yeah. And I think it is important for people to have in the back of their mind and be more secure and safe as they explore those uncharted waters.
Yeah. And if I could just touch on that a little more, I want people to always be cognizant of the dichotomy that even exists. And I know this has been since the beginning of crypto, but don't conflate the two with, the decentralization of crypto as a currency where it frees you, right, from having or being beholden to governments. We've seen this work in places like Venezuela, where the government's really, and the economic system collapses, and you can switch on to using cryptocurrency, and it's really helped save economies, right? But the decentralization of an exchange is a different thing. We want to be very careful that we don't conflate the two, because decentralized exchanges, if we didn't have any centralization, any oversight, would invite people to scam and to fraudulently transact, right? Because if there's no oversight to a decentralized exchange, but there are people building protocols that can essentially rug pull or can essentially cause transactions to be pushed through in a fraudulent manner, or pull liquidity pools or whatever may happen, that does invite the bad actors in the space. And that's one of the main reasons why, as an attorney and also as a CEO of an exchange, I don't fight. I fight somewhat the oversight, right? The overreach of regulation, but I do want some sort of oversight and regulation, because I want our investors to feel safe when they're trading on our exchange. So that, they know that we have not only our name, but the Binance name behind it. And you should feel safe transacting 24/7 on our exchange. So,
and I think that is thank you for adding some more flavor to that, because I think that is very important too, because people want to feel secure. They want to know that even though everything that they're doing is risky, that they can feel a little bit a breath of relief that as I do this, I don't think all my money is just going to disappear. So definitely appreciate you shedding some more light on that. But, I have two more fun questions for you, man. And as we kind of start to wrap these things up, but before I do, again, I want to go back to the conference really quickly. It's going to be in Miami. It's going to be in April. As that's coming up, what are some things, I know besides your keynote speech, what are some things that you're looking forward to at the conference?
Totally looking forward to the NFT sessions. I've jumped into the NFT craze and really been thinking about it. I mean, just more than art and collectibles, sort of niche, but I look at it as a way to market, to brand, to really expand your global reach, right? Because it is the next wave of digital marketing and digital branding of whatever you may want to brand. I mean, one of the cool ways I look at it, collectibles, are nice, but how about you authenticate something? They may shift into, let's say LeBron autographs a basketball, right? How cool would this be if you have an NFT of him holding the basketball that he autographed that you get with the basketball? It's not only collectible, but it's branding, it's authenticity. There's all these cool uses for it. So I want to see, what people have to say about NFTs. I also really, really, really am looking forward to the mining sessions. I actually run a crypto mining company up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I live as well. And, I'm always down to learn about, things I can be doing and streamlining my mining company. And, just really advancing that field as well, especially with Ethereum 2.0 coming and with some shifts in the way and difficulty. Ethereum difficulty is going to be mining because, obviously we're mining all ERC tokens, things like that with our miners. So just another one of the 50 things I have my hands in crypto. So. For
sure. No, and thanks for highlighting all those things. I mean, there are so many speakers coming and wealth of knowledge that's going to be made. And, the one of the pieces I'm definitely looking forward to is just the in-person experience again, right? Just to be able to meet all these amazing people, be able to learn a bunch of stuff, and then also just go rage at the end of the day, right? And just, I'm really looking forward to all of the different elements that this conference is going to bring. So definitely, again, looking forward to meeting you in person there. But, as we wrap this up, if you could take all the knowledge that you have right now and impart wisdom to yourself when you first started in the crypto space, what would you tell yourself first?
Oh, man. Probably not to screw around on BitMEX with 100x leverage trade. Seriously. No, just to understand what even from 6 years ago, what the use cases were going to be for so many of these projects. And, what these applications, these fantastic things that are being developed, and these fantastic, it's kind of evolved from the thought process to the application process over the last few years. And those companies that survived the 2016, 17, 18 boom and bust are putting out amazing protocols, amazing products, and really changing the way people see technology and use technology all over the world. So just knowing what I know now, I would have loved to go back there and be involved with some of those projects somehow, even more so than I was. In many cases, just because I'm so proud of what so many of my friends and colleagues have developed in this industry.
Right. So my takeaway from that is basically, if you're a newbie and you're not taking action yet, go take action. When you hear something that makes sense and it's something that makes you hungry, to sparks your curiosity and makes you want to go learn more about it, do it. Go act on it. It's one thing to come and listen to the show. It's another to go and take information and go and acting on it. So It sounds like, Joe, that's what you would definitely tell yourself, is to, as you're learning about these things and it makes sense, go and act on it a little bit more and become a little bit more involved. But Joe, you've given us so much information and excited to learn more. But what is a final thought that you want to leave with all of our listeners here today?
Sure. Well, I'd love to welcome you guys to come check out our exchange. Obviously, Mandala.exchange, Mandala.exchange. It's a great interface. You can really learn about what we're about. You can meet the team. If you come to our Discord, we're in there every day. And just come, use our exchange for an easy user experience and a fun user experience, because our community is honestly the best part of what we have. I love our team, but our community is guiding us here, and they're going to keep us going. And you can connect with some really great people while you trade and make trading fun for you and not a chore.
Awesome. Mark, I think that's a great final thought. And thank you for leaving the website. But what are some ways that people can connect with you? And also, what are some different ways that people can directly engage with your community? Sure.
So we have a Mandala Exchange Discord. I would check that out, as well as our Telegram group, Mandala Exchange. I'm always on there, like literally every day. So our whole C-level team's on there pretty much every day as well. So you can connect with me there at Joe MDX, all caps. Please don't DM me 50,000 things a day, because I try to respond to like 5 to 10 a day, because that's what I have time for. But I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I really don't shy away from anyone. If you have a good question, if you start spamming me, yes, I won't respond like anybody else. But, I'm here to help people develop their crypto knowledge and, really interact with them. And if they have good projects or ideas that want to list on our exchange, please bring them to me. It's Joe, Joe, at Mandala.exchange. So.
Excellent. Well, Joe, again, appreciate you joining us today. Looking forward to seeing you at the Miami Crypto Experience. And for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent. Tantra Labs, where you can earn 12% in Bitcoin and Ethereum yearly. Tantra Labs is a team of researchers, engineers, and data scientists, economists, and optimists whose primary focus is in Bitcoin, which they believe will usher in a more prosperous future built on sound money. They offer real-time loan tracking, fast automated onboarding, 100% payment history, and multi-sig storage. And again, you will get 12% APY on the crypto that you loan. Tantra Labs is taking on international clients as well as clients in the US, except for the state of New York. For more information, please go to tantralabs.io.